Hi, welcome to our kitchen. This is the first video of many, we hope, and today we're doing a very traditional Jamaican dish which is called Mackerel Rundown. I'm going to turn you over to the hubster who is going to take you through the steps of cooking this. Okay, so hi, morning. I see you've been working hard in the kitchen all morning.
Yeah, what we have here is the coconut milk that is actually being cooked right now. It's grated coconut juice.
So you just grate the coconut and juice it?
Yep, just get the juice from it and throw it in the
So
trash.
could I use coconut milk in the can or?
Then you
powder?
can, but it won't be the genuine Jamaican
Okay.
thing. It's all about the real thing.
Okay.
So what we do is that while this is being cooked, because we have to cook it down all the way until we see like a coconut oil forming on the edges.
So you have a nice little curd going on at the top. So
what I do is while it's cooking, I need to put a little garlic in it. You need to season it at least at that point. We're not going to put all the garlic we have, but we have a little minced garlic, a little tomato.
Okay.
The tomato is going to stay for the last. And let me get some more seasoning here. We're going to put a little scallion.
Okay.
Try not to put any onions in it for now, but just a little scallion and garlic.
Okay, so that's green onions.
Green onions or scallion. Okay, so that's it for now.
Okay.
The rest of the season we have here is to go into the latter part of cooking the salted mackerel here that we have, but all of this is going to go in after.
Okay.
But just for now, we need a scallion, garlic, and the coconut milk, and of course, if it depends. We don't put salt in it because the mackerel is already salted. But if you soak the mackerel overnight, sometimes it's a little fresh and it can get a little bit on that side. You can, just pinch and taste it if you have to.
Okay. Would you add a little thyme?
No, not necessarily at this time. The thyme will go in after.
Okay.
But just for the garlicky flavor of the little curd that's going to go around it, that's the little taste you're going to look for.
Okay.
So that's why the garlic and scallion is in there for now.
Good.
So we'll catch up back on the next stage. Thanks.
Okay. So while that is happening, I'm just going to let you know what we did with this to prepare it. Now, normally you buy it in the supermarket and it's salted, pickled mackerel. That's what you're going to be looking for. And what we did was, this is our way of doing it. It's to soak it overnight in cold water, but I add a few slices of lime because you want to cut the rawness a bit. And then in the morning, I go in, I open it up, wash it out, and you have to wash it very thoroughly, especially inside the head, because sometimes there are gills you need to remove, and then there's a black vein section that goes down here that you have to literally dig out and clean it out properly so that your mackerel is not bitter, because it will give off a bitter taste if that black section is left in it. And then we boil it. We boil it once or twice based on how we think it's the level of saltiness. Now we let it rest there until his curd is ready, and then we'll put it in. But let me show you some of the other things that go well with mackerel, because we have another pot going here, and we call this the cook food, in Jamaica. But we have yam, and we have cornmeal dumplings, and sometimes you can boil green bananas. Oh my gosh, that's so delicious. Look at that. And all the steam is coming up in the camera, so it's getting a little bit blurry. But this is yam, yellow yam, and cornmeal dumpling. So the traditional Jamaican boiled dumpling, which is just flour, water, salt, and you add a little cornmeal to it, and you boil it in a pot until it's ready. Some of the great things that will go with this rundown, it's boiled green bananas, boiled cocoa, boiled dasheen, fried breadfruit, it's endless. Fried dumplings, festivals, so that's endless. So we'll come back in a little while and finish up our mackerel. Okay, so we're back for part 2 of the mackerel rundown. Now look at this. That is what you call curdling. Remember, we got the dried coconuts and we took the kernels out and we blended it and strained it, and this is the coconut milk. Okay, so the hubster is gonna mix it up.
No, this is where we're gonna, you know, if you notice, the coconut oil is actually, you know, the little custard we have here, curd, that we call it custard in Jamaica. So this is the point that you know, you put the mackerel in, but you're gonna make sure your fire is on high while you're doing this, okay? Because this is like, it's not really like frying it, but at least it will get the oil along there to help. So you're gonna just put in your mackerel, your soaked mackerel. You can break it up as much as you want, you know, or you can put it in a whole, whatever it is. Just break it up. You know, put it in like that. What you do now, this is a little trick that, you know, you need to get and understand. You take the curd and you start to bring it into the mackerel. Okay? Yeah, this is what is going to cook it. Okay? All the curd, make sure the fire is on high. It will look a little messy, but believe me, you will be happy for the taste of it, that this curd gives it. Shake it a little. What I'm going to keep it on high just like that. And what I'm going to put in next is Scotch bonnet peppers.
Wow, Scotch bonnet, that's very hot, isn't it?
Yep, very hot. Scotch bonnet peppers, thyme.
So that's a sprig of thyme.
Yep. And the rest of the garlic, if we can. You know, sometimes it's good to separate it, but if a little, you know, tomato gets in it, that's fine. Along with that, we're going to put in the rest of the scallion and onions.
Now,
yeah, this is the part where you're going to make sure you sprinkle it evenly as much as you can. Because after this, we're going to basically turn the fire down and we're going to let it simmer. But not before we put in the tomatoes. It goes in last. Remember that.
Is there a reason why the tomatoes have to go in last?
Yeah, the tomatoes are a little soft, so they cook faster. So you try to keep them on top, basically.
Okay.
It's a little too much there. Just kind of spread it all over.
Okay.
Okay, and that's basically what we call it. You don't mix it. You just leave it just like that. Shake it a little. You know, just kind of get them level. And then what you do, you turn the fire down to about medium heat, medium to low. Okay. And we're going to cover it to simmer. And we'll see you on the other side.
Okay, looking good. And listen to me, if you could smell this, you would be amazed already. Back in a while.
Results. What we're going to do is we're going to stir this up a little. And you know, this is what you will see eventually. You know, just kind of mix it up a little. You know, just not to let it burn.
Oh, that looks very rich.
Yep, this is your classic Jamaican salt, mackerel rundown. Alright, and we're gonna let it can still simmer a little bit more, so we're gonna let it, you know, stay there for a little bit longer.
Any ideas how many calories in that thing? Because that looks...
that's a lot. That's a lot.
That looks really rich.
Not for the faint-hearted.
Oh
I can tell you that much.
Oh man.
And the Weight Watchers.
Guess I won't be having breakfast this morning.
See that color? You know, it's white, you know, custard and everything. And the little tomatoes, that's going to change the color a little. As I say, you can add a little, you know, more tomato for your liking, but that's the way I like it, the way it looks right now. But you can add a little tomato for your preference. You know, some people will go as far as to add butter to it, but that's like an overkill. Yeah, but you can do it, you know.
So I get the best job in the world, which is to taste these delicious meals. And I'm going to try the mackerel rundown now. As you can see, I took a little piece of the mackerel right here, and I have some of the curd and the seasoning and everything. And here we go. I have to get my pepper in there because I love spices. A piece of the yam. Oh my gosh. Wow. Spicy. It's a little bit salty. You have a little salty aftertaste, and the curd gives it a very rich taste that you would get from having a nice cream. Not hard, firm cornmeal dumpling. Yum, perfect, bravo.